Okay, so if you're someone who travels to India from abroad, or you know someone who does, you are definitely going to want to listen up. The Indian government has just rolled out some big updates to its baggage rules. And trust me, knowing what's new could save you a whole lot of hassle and money at customs. So let's dive in and break it all down.
You know that feeling, right? That little knot in your stomach when you're approaching the customs counter, just hoping you haven't accidentally packed something you shouldn't have, or wondering if you're about to get hit with a surprise duty fee. It can be pretty confusing.
Well, you can finally breathe a little easier. The good news is that these latest changes are actually designed to make the whole process much clearer, and in most cases, they're way more generous for travelers. So let's get right into what's changed.
First up, and this is probably the biggest one for most of us, is the change to the general duty-free allowance. You know, that's the total value of all the personal goodies you can bring into the country without having to pay a single rupee in tax.
And wow, just take a look at this. The jump is pretty huge. It used to be capped at 50,000 rupees, which, let's be honest, didn't always feel like enough. But now?
75,000 rupees. That's the new magic number. That's a really substantial increase, giving you so much more breathing room for gifts for the family and all the other stuff you're bringing back home.
So, who gets to enjoy this awesome new limit? Well, this 75,000 rupee allowance is for Indian residents who are coming back home, tourists of Indian origin, and anyone holding a valid non-tourist visa. But, and this is important to remember, for foreign tourists, the duty-free limit is staying put at 25,000 rupees.
All right, let's move on to the next major update. This one is all about the rules for bringing gold and jewelry into India. This has, for years, been a massive source of confusion, but the new rules, they make things so much simpler.
And here it is, the single biggest change. The value limit on gold is completely gone. Forget about trying to calculate the value of your jewelry. From now on, the only thing that customs is going to care about is the weight. This chart just lays it out so clearly. Before, a female passenger had to worry about two things, keeping it under 40 grams and under 1 lakh rupees. And for other passengers, it was 20 grams and 50,000 rupees. Now, just forget the value part. It's simply 40 grams for female passengers and 20 grams for everyone else. That's it. So much easier.
Now, there is one very important condition to keep in mind here. This new, simplified weight-only rule for gold is specifically for Indian passengers who have actually lived outside of India for more than a year, or for tourists who are of Indian origin. So, that 1-year stay condition is key.
Okay, as if all that wasn't good enough news, the government has thrown in another fantastic perk. And this one's a real game changer, especially for students and professionals traveling to India. Yep, you heard that right. We're not done yet. There is one more big-ticket item that you can now bring into the country completely duty-free.
Any passenger who's 18 or older can now bring in one brand new laptop or notepad, totally duty-free. And here is the absolute best part. The value of that laptop does not count towards your 75,000 rupee allowance. It is a completely separate, extra bonus exemption. How cool is that?
Phew. Okay, I know that was a lot of new information to take in. So, just to make sure you're totally set for your next trip, let's do a super quick recap of the most important points. This is your guide to traveling smart. Here's your simple 4-step checklist. Number 1, your general allowance for goods is now a cool 75,000 rupees. 2, your gold allowance is now just about the weight, 40 grams for female passengers, 20 for others. 3, you get that awesome bonus of 1 duty-free laptop. And number 4, and this is absolutely critical, remember the golden rule. You cannot pool your allowances.
I'm going to say this again because it is so important. You cannot combine your 75,000 rupee allowance with your spouse or your kids or your friends to try and cover a single expensive item. Each passenger's allowance is theirs and theirs alone.
So there you have it. The new, and I think we can all agree, much improved baggage rules for India. They're simpler, they're way more generous, and hopefully they'll make your next travel experience a whole lot smoother. Which really just leaves one last question for you to think about. How are these new rules going to change what you pack on your next trip home?